Welcome back to the channel, guys. My name is Gene Edwards. You are watching LUBED, the playoff edition for April the 15th, 2023, as we dive into the Edmonton Oilers and the Los Angeles Kings, who will start their Pacific Division semifinal series on Monday night at the Rogers Place in Edmonton, Alberta. Before I dive into that, guys, I just want to give you guys a quick apology for not coming on after the San Jose Sharks game. To be honest with you, I was really intrigued what was going on in the Vegas-Seattle game. I wanted to see if Seattle could pull out a victory in regulation, which would give the Edmonton Oilers the Pacific Division title. However, they could not do us that favor, and we will play the Los Angeles Kings for the second time in a row for the Pacific Division semifinal. And it is going to be a much different team. Let me just pull up the next graphic here that we are facing. And it is also going to be a much different team that we are going to be putting on the ice. As this year, we have Ekholm as an addition. A subtraction is Barry, no Barry. Last year they had Drew Doughty was injured, so he was unable to play. They also bolstered up their D at the blue line or at the trade deadline. So this is going to be a very different series. Mike Smith won't be in net. Stuart Skinner's probably going to take the majority of it. It's going to be a different series. I can honestly tell you that. And one of the different notes or different things I have already witnessed is when I was going over last year's series between the two, I noticed the series started in May, and I started having to question myself, why did it start in May? Were they playing in the Pacific Division final last year? I'm like, no, we played Calgary in that. And then it finally occurred to me it was because we were still recapping from COVID and trying to get back on track from the 2020 Stanley Cup final that went like in August of 2020, where Tampa Bay Lightning won the Stanley Cup on Rogers ice in Edmonton, but they played the Dallas Stars, which I'll forever remember that one. I will definitely forever remember that one. I remember watching them raise the cup and seeing all the Oiler banners, Gretzky and that. I thought that was just so odd. So hopefully we never have to go through something like that ever again. But I'm going to stop rambling on about that. And I'm going to get into last year's series and notes. As, with no surprise, Connor McDavid led the way in points. He had 14. Despite it going 7 games, the Edmonton Oilers outscored the LA Kings 27-17 in that series. They had a couple games that were just ridiculous. Like, I think they beat them 6-0 in one game, and I forgot what the other one was. But regardless, as far as goals, it wasn't Connor McDavid, it wasn't Leon Draisaitl. It was actually Evander Kane who led the way with 7 goals in that series. And then Mike Smith, at 41 years old, was an absolute stellar goaltender for us, stopping 244 of the 260 shots he faced for a .938 save percentage. So it was quite impressive watching Mike Smith. I wonder who he's actually going to be rooting for in this year's playoffs, or if he's even going to be paying attention. Because he's been on several teams. I know he's been on Dallas. He was on Arizona, but they're not in the playoffs. I would hope that he's going to be rooting for the Oilers. But anyway, Mike, just saying hi if you happen to be watching this video. You did an awesome job for us. You'll never be forgotten in oil country, 100%. We love you, buddy. We love you, man. We love you. Okay, let's get into the schedule that is going to be going into this series. Now, it's pretty much every second day up until you get into the if necessary games. And then it kind of gets a little wonky. Now, this is Edmonton Oilers schedule off of the EdmontonOilers.com website. ESPN has a different actual schedule on there. So by default, I think I'm going to go with the Oilers schedule, and I'm going to explain to you as we go. So game one is going to be April 17th in Edmonton at the Rogers Place, as well as game two on the 19th. Then the Oilers will go to LA for games 3 and 4, which are on the 21st and 23rd. And then, if necessary, they will come back to Edmonton to play game 5. Now, this is where there's a bit of a lapse. There's actually a 4-game or 4-day hiatus here, as the Oilers will not play until the 29th in LA if it should go to game 6. And then May 1st, they will wrap up the series if it needs to go to game 7. Now, ESPN have it listed as on the, what was it, 25th. They play on the 25th, they play on the 26th, they play on the 28th, and then on the 30th is what ESPN has. So I'm the Oiler website might be wrong, but I would think by default they, as an organization, they would have their schedule right over ESPN. So just take note of that. It could vary, but I'm not 100% sure on that at all. Okay, as far as the tail of the tape goes between the two teams, how did they get there? Well, the Edmonton Oilers had a record of 50, 23, and 9, giving them second place. The Kings 47, 25, and 10. The Oilers were absolutely red hot in the last, I don't know, 20 games of the season or so. Just absolutely red hot and just playing extremely well ever since they've got Ekholm into the lineup. When it comes to goals, the Oilers have the edge there as they are first in the league at 3.96 to LA's 3.34, which is 10th in the league for them. When it comes to shots on goal, Edmonton once again takes the lead on that one as they average 33.6 shots on goal, which is 6th in the league, to LA's 11th with 32.4. When it comes to the power play percentage, I should have actually checked to see if they actually set the NHL record. I think they actually set an NHL record here in the history of the NHL. This is the Edmonton Oilers we're talking about with a 32.4 power play percentage, first in the league, to the Los Angeles Kings. They are fourth in the league with 25.3. So their power plays are very close to, well, kind of close to similar, even though it's a 7% margin, which is pretty ridiculous. Okay. For the face-off percentage, this is where the LA Kings actually edge the Oilers, and this is the only stat in the offensive category that they edge them. They are third in the league at 53.3%. Oilers are 15th in the league at 50.8. Shooting percentage, Oilers are first in the league, averaging 11.8% on that. Meanwhile, the LA Kings are tied for 12th at 10.3. Now, the tail of the tape changes here when it comes to the defensive stats. And I'm going to actually just kind of, before I get into that, just let you guys know a lot of their woes defensively was what was happening very early in the season. A lot of it has changed since Ekholm has come aboard. So these numbers are actually getting better and better and better. But we'll start off with goals allowed. LA 16th in the league, allowing 3.1 goals per game. Meanwhile, the Edmonton Oilers are 17th, right behind them, at 3.17 goals per game. When it comes to shots on goal allowed, the LA Kings are fourth in the league, averaging only 27.9 shots allowed to Edmonton Oilers, 18th in the league, averaging 31.4. They are absolutely tied to the T when it comes to what is that? Minutes? Penalty minutes. Couldn't even read my scribbling there. Penalty minutes, they are tied. So they are actually about the same at 8.6 penalty minutes per game. And then the Edmonton Oilers have a slightly better penalty kill. They're 20th in the league at 77%. Meanwhile, the Kings are 24th in the league at 75.8%. Yeah, this is going to be something that I am going to be definitely interested in. Like I said, guys, I am going to try to come on live post game. But if any game goes into overtime, by default, I will do my my review of that game the next day. I do need my rest. Okay, guys. So it all starts Monday night. If you are new to the channel and witnessing this for the very first time and like the content that I bring you, feel free to hit that like, share, and subscribe button. As for the rest of you guys, stay healthy, stay happy, stay hydrated. We'll see you hopefully tomorrow night, as long as it doesn't go to overtime, for the live feed. Actually, sorry, I'm going to see you a little bit later today, as Sammy and I are going to get together and we're going to discuss everyone, the whole playoff scenario and every team, and we're going to break down who I like and who he likes, and we'll just have a little discussion. I'm going to try to make that live. We'll see if I can do it, but until then, guys, you guys have a great night or a great afternoon. It's pretty early still. No hockey this weekend, so I don't know what I'm going to do with myself other than the video tonight. But it will be a great, great week. You guys have an amazing day.
Don't wanna sleep in, cause I got something to prove. I gotta take what I hate and finally make a move. I think of you and all the shit you don't do. Well, I'ma make hella sure that I don't become you. I have no regrets, yeah, I'll tie up my chest. I'll never forget what it's like to be in debt. Been